parched on a little hill in the southern part of Eleuthera was a pregnant lady. She's about to give birth to a beautiful, bouncing boy. However, the conditions surrounding this birth were marred with difficulties, trials, and abandonment. On the day that she's about to give birth to this child, her so-called friend, lover, companion, looked her straight in the eye and said, "This child is not my child. Therefore, I'm going to work." And with these fine-tuned words, closed the door and left. However, Providence would have it, there was a kind lady in the neighborhood who would frequently pass near this home. And on this turbulent, troubling Thursday morning, she heard a groaning in the house. And she hastily knocked on the door. And a desperate cry on the inside said, "Please come in." She opened the door and she found this lady on the floor in a birth-given position. And she quickly scanned the room to see what she could find to assist with the birthing process. But she only found a bottle of rubbing alcohol and a blade. That mother, fellow Toastmasters and guests, was my mother. I am that child whose birth was in peril. Mr. Chairman. As I probe into this story, I began to ask myself many questions. What do you do when you have a big dream? You are pregnant with a dream, and all that life hands you is a bottle of alcohol and a razor blade. What do you do when so-called friends, lovers, look you square in the eye and say, "Hey, that's your dream, not my dream," and they walk away? What do you do when you have no telecommunication, no running water, you have no food? What do you do when you are faced with these challenges? As I reflect and I probe and I think, I find solace in this one thought. If all you see is what you can see, then you have not seen all that needs to be seen. So I said to myself, I'm going to look beyond the bottle of alcohol and beyond the blade and see what lies. And fellow Toastmasters and guests, I want to share with you at least 4 points that I extrapolate from this story of my life. First of all, I found out that my mother had what we call gumption. Gumption is the ability to navigate through difficult circumstances. It is having a get up and go mindset and do what you have to do. See, my mother said, "Come hell or high water, I'm going to have this baby." And so therefore in life, when you have a goal, you have a dream, and you are cornered, and you have limited resources, you have to say to yourself that I'm going to push through with this dream. Secondly, I realized that she was also resourceful. She didn't have everything. But one thing that I realized in life, when you have limited resources. You have to use what you have. You have to stay small enough, long enough to become big enough soon enough.